For your family's comfort, brought to you by Modern Heating and Greens Plumbing.
Hello and welcome to this edition of For Your Family's Comfort, brought to you by Modern Heating and by Greens Plumbing.
Yep, and today we're going to talk about indoor air quality.
That's right, and the stuff that's in your air.
Yeah, try to make you breathe better, live better, and everything.
Yep.
I know everyone's thinking we're going to talk about Star Wars here, but this is not Star Wars. This is yeah, it is kind of like. Yeah. It's a UV lamp.
Right. But at any rate, we're going to talk about what's in your air. And I think everybody has had this situation where they're sitting in the living room and there's a nice beam of sunlight coming in the window, and you can look through that beam of sunlight and you see all this stuff in your air.
Floating around.
And what those are is particulates. You know, there might be cat dander, dust, all kind of things that might be floating around in your air. And the way we take care of those things is through air filters and filtration. And what we have here, this is a high-efficiency air filter that can be installed in your duct system if you have a forced air furnace. And it's a little cabinet. It's very easy to take the cover out, pull out the filter, put a new one in, and replace your filter maybe once a year or twice a year, depending on what the situation is in your home.
And I know filters are rated with a MERV rating.
Right.
And like some of those air filters that you can see right through have like a MERV rating of 1, 2, 3,
1 or 2
something like that.
Yep.
And this one I saw in the end when you pulled it out had an 11.
That's right. And that's a very common one. This particular one is also considered a high efficiency filter, but you can see this has a MERV rating of 8. So it's not quite as effective of removing particulates. And we also have filters that have a MERV rating of 13.
Okay. So actually, the higher the better, always?
The bigger the number, the better effectiveness it has as far as removing those particulates in your air. That's right.
And the other things that float around in your air are like germs and viruses and molds and that type of thing.
Bacteria and living organisms. That's right.
And that's kind of where this one comes in.
Right. And this is a UV light, and this can get inserted right into your duct system. This is a single bulb light. You can get double bulb lights and different UV lights of different intensities. But what happens here is when this is lit up, as the air passes by this light and is exposed to this ultraviolet light, it actually changes the DNA makeup of these living organisms, like Kathy was saying, viruses and bacteria.
So they can't multiply,
molds.
Right?
So they can't multiply. They're like a mosquito, you know. They don't live for a very long time, but they multiply like crazy. So if we can take away their reproductive cycle, then pretty soon they're gone.
And to install these is not a big deal.
No, you can see that there's just a couple of screws, drill a hole in your duct, slide it in, plug it in, and away you go. It's very, very simple.
So with these, about how long does a bulb last before you have to change it out?
We recommend changing it out every year. Or excuse me, once a year.
Once a year.
Right, yep. So that there's things in your air, there's particulates that we can filter out with filters, and there's living organisms. And those things can cause odors too. And if we take care of those things with the UV light, then that freshens up our air and makes us a very much healthier of a condition for us to live in our homes.
Yeah, and who doesn't want, and people do spend a whole ton of time in their house.
That's right.
So the cleaner the air, the better off you are. So if you want to change your air quality in your home, please give us a ring, 847-7459 or 847-7542.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.